You're growing more practical plants, something you can eat. Herbs,
Well, I'm not yet. I don't even have them.
berries.
It's all a dream at the moment. The main problem is I can go and buy the strawberries, but I want to buy big pots for them. And I don't have anywhere around here that sells big pots, so I'd have to actually have a car to get them, and I don't have easy access to one at the moment.
But it depends on what type you get, I suppose. If you're talking about, granite or something. But if they're only plastic ones, which you can get, they're not that heavy. I'm sure you
Well,
could carry
actually,
it
no,
pretty
you're
easy.
right. No, I had in my mind the ceramic ones. That was what I had in my mind. But of course, you can get plastic ones. You see, I didn't even consider it.
Yeah, well, if you're going the ceramic, you probably would need a car. But the plastic ones, you could totally carry that far.
You see, I don't really think I actually need the ceramic ones. I mean, why would I need them?
No. I mean, they do look a little bit nicer.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, it's not really super important. I mean, you can always jazz them up. I think you can paint them. Maybe I could paint my plastic pots.
You could.
I was thinking I could even paint them with the tangential soup logo once I finish it.
So what are you thinking for that? Still soup or something a bit more
Oh, look,
tangential?
I'm really just trying to learn the tool at the moment. So I have a basic sketch of, well, it's similar to what you've done, but I'm just trying to obviously expand on it and put some nice colors in. Um, and obviously, I was thinking along the lines of the chopsticks going out at basically right angles and then a graph line going through it with maybe a tangent line coming off it that I could maybe somehow work into the words tangential soup,
Oh, yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, as I said, still trying to conquer the pen, so I'll let you know when I get there.
That's all right. Yeah. For a lot of basic shapes, you can add them in on their own and then you can combine the shapes. So that's sometimes a good way of doing it too, as opposed to just drawing it all freehand.
Okay, all right. Well, look, I mean, I figured out how to add shapes, but
If you have like say you put a circle and then you put a square and then you
mm,
select them both at the same time, you can just hit a thing and it combines those two shapes, or it takes the difference between them, or where they're overlapping, or that sort of thing. And through that, you can get quite far.
oh, okay, all right. I didn't actually. So you selected both the shapes.
Yes.
Okay, wait a second, and then control probably. No,
Shift.
shift is it?
If you select one, hit shift and select the other one, then it will select them both. Or you can just, drag and select all of them.
I'm only getting one of the shapes. Oh, maybe because that's not a. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, look, it's not important.
No.
What do I just do? Well, I mean, it is important, obviously, at some point, but for now, it's not super important. I did actually use I my image was too far off to the side, and instead of moving my image to the side, I just selected my whole image and moved it onto a new onto a new piece of paper.
That
I'm not
works.
sure, not sure if that's the way to do it though, to be honest.
Whatever works. People use different techniques to do different things.
Well, look, they do, and I mean, you're right. It is more about it working, but still, I felt like there was an easier way.
Yeah, and you can also just edit if you like double tap on a shape. It'll bring
Mm,
up all the points around it, and then you can drag those and add those and do all sorts of fancy
yes.
things.
Yeah. No, I am slowly learning the ways of the tool, I suppose you'd call it.
Yes. And the good thing about this particular program is it's what they call a vector graphics drawing program, which
Hmm.
means that whatever you create in the end can be infinitely scaled. So it won't look pixelated when you blow it up or
Oh,
shrink it
excellent.
down. Mm.
Well, that is useful. I've got to say, one of the chopsticks is a bit wonky because I actually made my chopsticks out of rectangles and then modified them. I really don't know if that's the best way to make a chopstick. I mean, it worked. I have a chopstick now, but
No, I mean, well, that's what I did for mine, right? A rectangle and then pinched one end.
yeah, exactly. That's what yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that at least I did the same thing as you.
I think that's the easiest approach. But you're right, it is hard to get it exactly like coming in the same on both sides. I assume that's what you're talking about.
Well, actually, my chopsticks, I only pinched one end, but it's kind of had the same effect.
Mm. Yeah, no, that would work too. And in that case, you don't have to worry about it too much.
No. And I realized I possibly could have just copied the one chopstick I'd done, but I actually did them separately, which probably wasn't the best way to approach it. All right. Yeah, look, I've got plenty of ideas, and I also figured out how to make my lines thicker because at the start I was drawing with these 0.2% or 0.2 point lines or something, so they were incredibly thin and difficult to see, and I couldn't figure out how to make them thicker, which was one of the many tutorials I watched.
Yes.
But I think they do have excellent tutorials.
Yeah, they do. It's quite a professional outfit, those guys.
Yeah.
Glad you're having fun with it.
Look, I am actually. I think of myself as one of the people who would really love to be more artistic.
Mm.
And I can appreciate art, well, to some extent.
Did you watch that video of John Cleese talking about creativity that I linked you the other day?
I didn't. No. I would like to say it's on my to-watch list, but I'd actually forgotten about it.
That's right. It's pretty interesting, though. He said creativity is often easier if you can create boundaries of space and boundaries of time.
Okay.
As in, if you can block off a certain time for yourself where there's no distractions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then you can also block off space for yourself, again, eliminating distractions.
Well, it's interesting you say. I know that that's what a lot of writers do. They basically work a 9 to 5 in their writing job. They will go upstairs to their study or whatever, and they'll sit there and they'll work.
Yeah, he said distractions put you back so much because you've lost your train of thought.
That's a very wise way of looking at it, actually.
So if you can eliminate that, and even if it's only a small amount of time, if you've blocked that off, when you have a start time and a finish time, your brain is free to explore ideas during that designated time.
Okay.
You should watch it, though. He explains it better than I did just then.
I will watch it, definitely. Did we receive any other feedback on the other podcasts?
It was suggested maybe we talk a little bit about our background and how we came to know each other.
Okay. Oh, yeah, certainly. We've known each other forever, really.
Has been a long time since prep, I want to say. I think you were there at kindergarten, but I wasn't there.
I was there at kindergarten. Yeah.
Yeah, I came a bit later. We've known each other for a very long time and just through school mostly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has been, but school is such a big part of your life that when you say you know somebody through school, really. Although we know each other through school, but I mean, I have quite a few people that I know through school who I don't contact anymore. It's really, in fact, it's mostly just you.
That's true. I guess it was quite a few years, wasn't it?
Well, it was
12, 13?
12 years, yeah.
Jeez, that is a long time.
What did we really get out of it, David?
Well, like you say, we got a few things out of the early years.
Oh, look, I definitely think so. And I think that as a child, I was horribly ungrateful about how fantastic a teacher Jeff was.
Jeff was our teacher from grade 1 to grade 8 in Stoner School.
Mm-hmm. And a fantastic teacher too.
Oh, Jeff was great. Like, I wouldn't be able to write nearly as well today without his assistance.
Oh, absolutely.
And perseverance.
Absolutely.
Taking home those draft copy books every night.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Not being too harsh, just correcting things and then just slowly learning over time.
I wonder if he knows how much he's appreciated. I really feel like I should send Jeff a message actually to tell him thank you for teaching me, and I'm sorry I was such a shit.
I'm not sure you were that bad.
Oh, I felt like I was.
There was a few worse kids.
Oh, look, there were. But I mean, the fact is, I felt like I could have been better. And I feel for some people, maybe they're just not made for education, and that's just the way they were. But I feel like I should have been better. I could have, and I should have.
I think you did all right. And you could have done a lot better had you felt a bit more interested about the whole thing.
Well, do you want to know something funny? Mum brought me my do you remember that book that we got at the end of year 8 that all the teachers wrote in, and they basically gave you some feedback and said what we'd done?
Oh yeah.
she brought me that book, and it basically the comment was the same. Obviously there are different comments from different teachers, but the same theme was running through all of them. Alex is talented, but he's just got to learn to apply himself. And I think Jeff's was, Alex. Alex has a lot of potential, but he's just got to stop playing the clown. And it's so true. Just got to learn to apply myself.
Yes, well, I think you do have a lot of natural talents for things. Especially around the English language, I thought you always could have done something. Maybe in advertising, or even an author or columnist.
Well, look, I don't know about being an author. Just because I'm not sure how it would fit with a lifestyle that I would enjoy. Because I'm finding more and more that I'm not really sure that I want to be working a desk job for the rest of my life. And well, look, I mean, I say that, but I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that I could do. I could go off on adventures and write about that, but
there's lots of authors that just go off to exotic locations.
Well, that's actually a good point. It's not really an excuse, is it?
Not necessarily you have to do that. I'm just saying you probably could do that and do it quite well.
Yeah, I don't practice my writing though. That's a big thing. I haven't practiced my writing at all.
You've been doing a bit more recently, though.
Well, I have. That's true, but it's not really writing at this stage. It's just more story development.
Still, it's all good. Part of the puzzle.
Yeah, well, one step at a time, I guess.
Some more feedback was to mention what the game was exactly, because we mentioned it last time, but didn't exactly say anything about it.
Did we? Okay. Do we have a name for the game? I feel like I should know this.
No, there's no name. There's just a working title, which is just purely Project Axolotl.
Axolotl, yes, okay. All right, well, let's talk about the game, I guess.
How would you describe what it is we're trying to create for those people that may not be familiar with text adventure games?
Okay, well, basically a text adventure game is, you see, in my mind, it's really, well, what I've certainly been trying to create, and I will stress that trying was in inverted commas there, is really more of a story that you can, that you have some choices in.
Yes.
So we have a character who is in a situation, who is stranded in a remote location in another world, and you, in a lot of ways, you try to guide this character back to safety. I suppose is really a basic way of describing it. And you might get some items sometimes. You might get choices to either use the items or to take the character in a particular direction, or to direct the character to do something which you feel might be useful. And then based on your direction, the character will have a certain experience.
Yes. I think that's a very succinct way of putting it.
Yeah, I think so.
And so particularly for our game, it's going to be a mobile game, at least initially. And hopefully we'll find a bit of a player base. And we're developing this with another of our childhood friends.
Yes.
Axel Freeman.
Yes, I think he was part of the kindergarten crew.
Yes, he beat me there.
Yeah.
To Steiner. So another piece of feedback was maybe we could talk about our current position just a little bit.
Okay.
So how would you categorize your situation at the moment?
My situation. Okay. Well, so I work for a financial services company in the very inglorious role of senior administrator. And basically what that means is, actually, no, I got my official title the other day. I'm a senior wealth operations administrator. And I gleefully changed my email signature to that title. Like the proper corporate wanker that I am. And yeah, and then basically what that position entails is I have to authorize all the work that our administrators do for our various products. Well, I say our various products. It's our wealth products that's the side of the business I work on. So our superannuation, our managed investment products.
I'm currently working at Bosch. I do programming work and various development work for IoT devices, specifically at the moment agriculture stuff. And at the same time, I build apps for mobile platforms on the side. I'd say what I do at the moment.
Hmm. I mean, I didn't know all of that, to be honest. I wasn't aware of your specific field within Bosch, but seems to be pretty accurate.
IoT, that's Internet of Things.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was something to do with information technology, information of technology.
I always say IoT because everyone around me says IoT, but I have to realize that not everyone knows that acronym.
I've never heard it before.
Internet of Things, which is just the concept that going forward, more and more appliances will have connectivity within them. So things are just anything. It's usually small devices, though.
Okay.
Or, say a washing machine, a fridge, you could kind of classify them as Internet of Things devices if they've got any sort of smarts in them.
Okay. Okay. Washing machine that connects to the internet?
Yes.
Seems so pointless.
Well, you laugh, but they have those now, right?
Oh, I'm sure they do. It doesn't even slightly surprise me.
And, I mean, they're not that helpful.
Of course.
But you can say, oh, no, I left the dryer on or something, and then you can check on your phone. Oh, no, I didn't.
It would be actually an oven and a stovetop that was connected to the internet would actually be quite useful because that's something, and a heater as well.
Yes. Yes.
Those are things that people get concerned about. But washing machine, well, maybe dryer, but
Fridges, they have the concept of you're at the supermarket and you want to see if you have any of a particular item in your fridge at any one time. You can get
That's
a
a
picture
good
of your
idea.
fridge.
that's actually a really good idea. But you'd have to have cameras at all angles, surely. And what if your fridge was really full? Then it'd just be blocked by the lettuce. I want to know if I've got some butter, but the lettuce is in the way.
Yes.
Need a little robot arm that can move the lettuce out of the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems. And particularly around security as well. There's a lot of work to be done.
People can hack into your fridge.
Yeah. For some things, like just having all your lights on a system that you can control from your phone is quite handy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay.
And even using sort of Google Home and Alexa, those voice-activated systems that you can just say, turn on all the lights for the hallway, or set a particular configuration where it turns on all the lights in the lounge room, and then it turns them off after you've gone to bed.
That is very useful. I actually, when I was at JB Hi-Fi the other day buying a ridiculously expensive USB-C cord.
You finally got one that would work with your phone, did you?
Oh my God, I can't believe how expensive they are. It's just absolutely insane. But yes, I did get one.
It's only because USB-C is so new.
But I just don't understand. Surely the cost doesn't actually represent what it costs to manufacture them. I would think, at least.
Well, no. But you can get super, super cheap ones out of China that are like $1, $2. But I wouldn't trust them for charging.
But that was what I had, and you're right. They didn't charge. In fact, they just depleted the battery sometimes.
Well, but it's not even that. They can be potentially dangerous or just harmful to the device in general because there's ones that are certified and ones that are uncertified. And maybe not all of the ones that are uncertified are actually bad, but there's just enough of them that you really want to get a certified ones. And the ones that are certified carry a certain premium. And then there's a markup, and then there's Australian tax and blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of it, it's $30, $40 or something.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate that would be the case.
It will come down, though, as they get more prevalent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's useless now because I actually ended up buying 2 of them. So I had one for work and one for home.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Good investment. And even when you upgrade your phone, your next one you're going to get will have that connector. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That doesn't make me feel so bad about it, actually. I have to say the battery life on my phone isn't fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. That was the one thing that was a slight oversight when I recommended it. People said it was all right, but I thought, it'll probably be enough for Alex, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, look, it's never been a huge issue. Sometimes I have to admit I do run out of battery. Although now that I have my charger at work, it never happens. But it used to happen before that. When I put it on my draining cord instead of a charging cord.
Yes, you got the Nexus 5X.
I do. Yes, I have the Nexus 5X.
Not tempted to get a Pixel?
No, not even remotely, to be honest.
What about the Galaxy S8?
Not even slightly. My relationship with phones is You see, the reason I like the Nexus 5X is I feel like it's my level of technology, which means that for me, it does everything I could possibly need it to do, which is basically play some games, text some people. I've just recently started trying to get back into music.
Mm.
Well, I mean, when I say recent, I mean very recently, in the last week or so.
Because you've got your headphones.
Well, my headphones are my speaker, actually. I haven't
Yes.
I haven't used my headphones at all for music. Or no, I used them once on Thursday.
They sound all right?
Yeah, they're pretty good actually. I think I've got to do some adjusting with the bass because some songs come across as really bassy, and I'm not sure why.
Mm.
And I don't know how to do that either.
So how's your speaker going? Your Bluetooth speaker?
Really good. I'm really pleased with it. The only thing that I could mention, and it's not even really a big deal, is it doesn't have a particularly good background music volume level. What I mean by that is when you put the volume up and down, it goes up and down in chunks, so it kind of covers a range of volume, and it doesn't have anywhere, it doesn't have anywhere in between that range of volume.
Yeah.
So there's either quite quiet or just slightly louder than I would like if I was, say, trying to read a book or concentrate on something. So I actually had it on when I was trying to do the logo, and it was either so quiet I couldn't really pick up the music, or couldn't properly hear the music,
or it was a bit loud.
Just too loud,
Yeah.
just loud enough that it was just imposing on my thoughts. So the solution I found is just to turn the speaker away from you, because it's a one direction speaker.
Mm.
And then it kind of bounces off the wall and it makes it a bit quieter. But in this particular instance, I actually just turned it off because I was finding everything distracting.
Mm.
But otherwise, it is honestly incredibly awesome. The sound quality is amazing on it, and it's nice and tough too. I mean, I haven't dropped it. I don't intend to drop it, but I feel like even if I did drop it, it might be okay. Not that I'm going to try that out. Although knowing me, I probably will end up trying it out.
These are some other potential topics that I put on the list.
Very good. The most used emoji. Ooh.
Thought you might find this interesting, given our conversation last week.
Yes, I do, definitely.
So these are taken off Twitter in real time. I don't know when this site started. It was probably more than 12 months ago. And these are the counts of all the different emoji.
I love the warning. Emoji Tracker is an experiment in real-time visualization of all emoji symbols used on Twitter. It updates at the speed of updates on Twitter in real time, and thus contains rapidly updating visuals that may possibly cause problems for those sensitive to such things. ? I'm not sure, but I don't want to risk it, so here is a warning.
Yes.
Love it. All right, where are we at? Okay, well, it seems like a fairly... the winner by a fairly large margin is the face with tears of joy.
Yes.
And it's blinking a lot, whereas some of the other ones that are higher up don't really seem to be moving.
Yeah, so the green is obviously when anyone's actually using that.
Yes.
In a Twitter message in real time.
The rose is up there. I wonder why it's there. Is this total uses, or what period does this cover? Do you know?
I don't know when it started. Frequently asked questions. When did Emoji Tracker first launch? July
4th of July
2013. So I think it's the total from that time.
Right, okay, I'm with you. Well, there you go. It's good that there are, although actually the heartbreak one is number 4. So I was about to say there are nice positive things on the top, but hang on, no, they're not. Am I? Oh, sorry, I was actually looking at them in the wrong way.
They go across and then down.
Yeah, I was looking at them just down. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of good things at the start.
Yeah, there's a lot of love hearts and a lot of faces. There's the monkey face.
There's the monkey face, yeah.
Some music. There's an arrow.
Let's head down to the bottom.
The left arrow.
Uh-oh, these ones aren't blinking at all.
Every now and again, one gets hit sporadically.
Okay, so the suspension railway is the least used one.
Mm.
You know, I think if we used it enough, we could probably get it out of the bottom.
Overtake the next one?
Well, I mean, Plus, as well,
The
if we
non-potable water symbol.
hang on a second, the most recent tweet is no, it's not actually Emoji Saver. What does Emoji Saver mean?
I don't know where you're seeing this.
Oh, if you click on the number, and then it pops up a little screen.
Oh, and then you go to the tweet, and that's the most recent tweet that used it.
Yes, yeah, live tweets. Emoji Saver. Do you think Emoji Saver is just giving some action to the least used tweets?
Oh, that's just a user. Yeah, it probably is actually.
So it has 12 followers. What does it do?
That's probably an automated script based on that thing, right?
Yeah,
And so whatever the last few ones are, it tries to use them.
yeah.
It seems like every 10 minutes or so.
So I wonder how many of those rail carts and those no cycling and those baggage claim and passport control and rail cart and stuff have come about as a result of Emoji Saver.
Probably a fair few.
No, it looks like the vast majority would have actually come from it. I mean, just in the last 24 hours, it's tweeted, well, obviously, whatever.
A lot.
Yeah,
And it's been running for about 12 months.
well, there you go.
Yeah. Someone's passion project for a weekend or something, and then probably forgotten about.
Yeah,
But it's still ticking on.
that's so funny. Because the rail cuts only had 73,274 users. And if we look back through the most recent tweets, it's been Emoji Saver, Emoji Saver, Emoji Saver, something looks like maybe in Arabic, and then one other one, and then Emoji Saver, Emoji Saver.
Dominating the bottom of the list there.
Yes, it is. Bicycle. Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool. I think we learned something there today.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
I did. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, well, the next one is why should I care what color the bike shed is?
So the basic idea here is that if you're building something simple and you have plans to build something that's fairly well contained, and then you present that to other people that need to approve it or something, if it's within their grasp to understand what's going on and they think they might have something to contribute, they will. And in this case, the metaphor is that they want to change what color the bike shed is.
Yeah.
But for example, if you took them the plans of a nuclear power plant, they'd go, oh, well, I assume someone before me has checked all the relevant details. I'll just say that's fair enough and go, okay.
Well, that's very interesting.
And they just refer to it as bike shedding.
Right. That's so interesting. And it's so true as well, though. People spend so much time arguing about stupid...
Well, yes, if something's fairly trivial, it's not really worth your time fighting over, even if, you know, those details might make something better or worse in small ways, but it's not worth the time to actually argue about that.
Yes, yeah.
People always want to put their mark on something, even if they really have nothing to do with it.
That's so true as well. Some people just need to contribute for no reason other than they feel they need to contribute. An unfortunate fact of life, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I like that one.
And you see this one? The NES Classic has been discontinued.
It's so funny because weren't they super popular?
They're still super popular. Like, even though they're discontinued, they're still being sold currently, so there's still shipments coming in. And every time a store gets a new shipment, they're instantly sold out. And now there's some available on eBay and other places for double, triple the price.
Yeah.
So they're selling them as quick as they can make them.
Yeah.
And the demand is through the roof, and they've decided to discontinue it.
So funny. Okay, so what they're suggesting here is that Nintendo's main goal with discontinuing this product that, as you said, is incredibly popular, is that it's not necessarily after your money, it's after your attention. And it wants you to be thinking about Nintendo.
Well, maybe that is the end game, but considering the fact that Nintendo aren't doing tremendously well financially, it is a weird move. You'd think they would sell a product if there was demand for it. Most companies do that.
Yeah, why do you think so? Look, I mean, we all know that Nintendo do some strange things.
Yes, I guess it doesn't really affect you. You were never planning on buying one of these.
No, I wasn't, honestly. It was all a bit before my time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we come to the final video, which is the robot that's roaming San Francisco streets to deliver food.
The marble robot that delivers food to your door.
Well, I think that's basically seems to be a logical next step for food delivery, right?
Yes. Although it's slightly defeated by the fact that, at least for the time being, it's chaperoned by a person at all times.
Well, I mean, that's just how these things start, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you ever get food delivered?
Oh, look, I do, to be honest, yeah.
Who do you get it through? Uber Eats, Deliveroo?
My main one has been Menulog.
Ah, okay, yep.
But I've been told that Uber Eats is quicker.
It could be, because I think Menulog is really only a way to connect you to the particular restaurant, but the restaurant still has to handle delivery through whatever mechanism it has.
I believe that is the case, yeah.
Whereas Uber Eats, I think their model is that they'll send an external person to the business to pick up the food.
Yes, yeah. And it's the same with Deliveroo and the same with, what's the other one?
Fedora?
Foodora, yeah. Because they have their blokes and gals riding around on bikes.
So you mentioned earlier that you might want to remove yourself completely from social media.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration, the catalyst for that sort of idea?
Well, look, basically where that came from was a couple of areas. One, I think something that we touched upon last week, online security. A lot of the attacks from online security don't come from people randomly stumbling across your details. They're very focused, and a lot of it involves blackmail. And the way that people blackmail you is they get your information from online social media, such as Facebook.
It's very true.
And they profile you from your social media accounts. And once they profiled you, they've learned where you live and where you work. They will make very specific threats about these things, and then they'll ask for money based on these threats. And a lot of the threats you actually, well, from what I understand, a lot of the threats you actually just have to ignore. But I think it would still be quite unpleasant to receive, specific threats about people in your life or something like that from an anonymous person demanding money.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. So that's the main reason?
Look, to be honest, it's not, even though it should be. The main reason is that I used to have the Facebook app on my phone, and I used to just spend time scrolling through it, and I hate it.
Yes.
I've since uninstalled it, the app from my phone.
It's also just a terrible resource.
It is.
From an implementation point of view.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I just mean it drains your battery, essentially.
Oh, it does, yes. That's true.
It works in the background. It's always doing something. It's constantly being updated, but never any better. It's just a really bad app.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't really look at it from that side of things. It was just more about the drain on my time, my life.
Yeah. Well, that's also true. Not that I ever super got into looking at it.
Oh, it's horrible. And I feel like I very much feel as well that I am profiled by Facebook and by Google as well, which I use.
Oh, of course.
They understand a lot about me.
To target ads to you.
Yeah, which I don't love, but I mean...
But they're both free services, so...
They are, that's the thing.
That's what you say, you're the product when you use those services.
Yeah. And that I don't mind so much, but as well, I mean, this information isn't actually particularly secure as I understand it.
Well, I don't know about Facebook. Maybe it is. I know Google's pretty good with these things. Because it makes them, that's where all their money comes from. They have to be pretty careful that no one else can get the information. Because they don't sell the information directly to advertisers. What they do is they sell the connection to the particular people that they want based on particular criteria.
Yeah, okay.
So only Google know who those people actually are. And then the advertisers know the type of people they want to target.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good, actually. It's not so bad.
Yeah. No, it could definitely be worse. And Google provides some pretty great services. I mean, they've got Google Docs and the search engine.
Yeah, look, I do agree.
What they provide for free, whereas Facebook, I feel like, doesn't provide as much value.
Well, they don't and they do, though, because, I mean, okay, no, they don't, but also as well, they're basically an unparalleled communication tool, I think, Facebook. because everybody has a Facebook, and it's very easy to talk through Facebook. It's also very easy to, if you want to, keep up to date with people on Facebook. Whereas if you have something like email or, I mean, I don't know, I suppose Twitter and whatever the alternatives to Facebook are pretty good too. But
have you ever tried Twitter?
Look, I haven't. No. And I'm not really sure what the reason was, just other than the fact that I didn't really have anything particularly interesting to tweet. It's probably part of it.
It is quite different, but I suppose it fills some of the same role.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever get into Twitter. You can't even put images on Twitter, can you? It's all just...
No, you can.
You can you?
Yeah. You can put basically whatever you like, but it's a bit different. Most of the time, people tend to tweet about what they're working on, less so than just what they're doing, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit more valuable, I find.
Okay.
I mean, it's not true of everyone, but the people I tend to follow, if I followed them on Facebook, they'd be a little more annoying.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair enough.
Although I do need to set up a Facebook account for the podcast.
Yes.
Necessary Evils and all that. I set up a Patreon.
I did notice that.
So if anyone wants to go support, sign up for $1 or $1 million, either way. Would be much appreciated.
What do we offer them for being Patreons?
Currently nothing.
Okay.
But soon there might be some bonus content.
Okay, right, okay.
Something that didn't make it into the main episode.
Right, okay. And would there be limits to receive this bonus content, or like $5 gets you 5 minutes and $10 gets you 10 minutes?
Well, I mean, I could, but I don't know how much it's actually worth. I was just going to have, if you donate anything, you get access to it. And then maybe high levels for some other, maybe better rewards. But I can't think of what those would be.
Oh, you get to meet Alex and David in person.
Right?
Those would surely be the better rewards.
But would anyone actually want that?
I suppose, who's our target audience, really? Maybe those people would.
Maybe we could do some t-shirts. So did you come up with any interesting things during the week that you saw?
Look, I've got to admit, I didn't take any notes on anything particularly interesting.
See anything particularly interesting? On your many travels?
On my many travels. Look, I must have, but I don't remember anything particularly. I will try to be more organised next time.
No, it's all right. We're still fairly new to this whole genre of entertainment.
Look, we are.
I do hope it's marginally entertaining. I know both of our collective mums appreciated it.
Yes, they did.
And that's always a positive first step.
Yeah, that's a good start. You're right. Although they have to, really. They're obliged to.
They are.
The curse of parenthood, you have to like your children's creations, even if it's just a pile of dirt or some sticks that they tied together.
Yes, you've got to be encouraging.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alrighty then, Alex. We'll catch you not quite next week, but on the Tuesday.
Yes.
So next week's episode might be a bit delayed.
Mm-hmm. For our avid listeners out there.
Yes, for the ones that are hanging out.
For my mother and your mother.
Till then, adios amigos.
Farewell.